Welcome to the Sports Watchdog Radio Show, hosted by Mason Kern. He keeps his nose to the ground to report on what's trending in professional and college sports, to inform, enlighten, and entertain. And now it's
the Sports Watchdog.
The Sports Watchdog, Mason Kern.
Hey everyone, welcome to another exciting episode of the Sports Watchdog Radio Show here on NBC Sports Radio, AM 1060 Phoenix. As always, I'm your host, Mason Kern, and we've got another chock full of stuff in this episode today. It's going to be extremely exciting because we're doing something a little different today in terms of our interview portion of the show. We're going to have a triple header of interviews today as we have the number 8 ranked Oracle ITA Division I men's tennis doubles duo in the nation coming out of Arizona State. And we'll also have the program's head coach, Matt Hill, on to discuss kind of the direction of his program, that doubles team as a whole, and kind of the direction that his program is looking toward the rest of the season. But yeah, it's going to be really exciting, so don't go away. We've got so much to talk about here on the show. All right, guys, so like I said, first off, we're going to get some perspective here from Arizona State men's tennis head coach Matt Hill, just on the ranking of his doubles group so far, the direction of the program, where it's trending. I mean, because this is only the second season since this program was reinstated at Arizona State after a 10-year hiatus, being brought back in 2017. Lots of success initially, just making an NCAA championships berth last year and having some success this season again as well. And I was there on Tuesday at the Whiteman Tennis Center, Arizona State's facility, to chat with Matt Hill about just all of these different factors. Just last season, first season just as the coach of this program, first season since this program was reinstated after 10 years. So when you come and you're looking to build up kind of this new program, how do you just approach that in the first place?
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of facets to it. Obviously, you've got to look at it from a staffing standpoint, like what are the coaches that are going to be involved in it. Got to look at it from a player standpoint, like what are we wanting to build long term, and then finding pieces of the puzzle from a player standpoint that would fit into that, which is super challenging because we want to be the best. And so there's only so many players around the world that can play at a program at the level that we're wanting to be at, so that makes it super challenging because everybody wants those kids too. And then just the culture piece that we've been working really hard on this year, like internally with the group, and then all the other facets of the match day experience and what we want that to be for our community, the alumni outreach, the community outreach. I mean, there's just so many pieces to the puzzle, that go into building up. I think of there's two types of teams or programs in the country. You have teams that are really good. That's just a good group of players, and they can play good tennis, and they might have a good ranking. Versus like the programs that do it all well. They have the fans, they have the support, they have the alumni involved, they have the great teams, and that's what we wanted to build here.
Right. And so you bring in Coach Kokta, Coach Catrone. Just when you were doing your coaching search, what made those two the best candidates for this program you're trying to build?
Well, Coach Kokta, obviously, he had played at Baylor. He'd been on national championship teams. He was one of the best players in college tennis. He was one of the best juniors in the world. I mean, he won't tell you this, but he was top 5 in the world as a junior. Top 300 ATP as a 18-year-old player. I mean, he's so much wealth and experience coming from Baylor and coaching at Baylor and then coaching at Purdue. I mean, he was single and really sold out on building something special here. And the more I spoke with him, the more I just realized our passions were really aligned with just doing something unique and special at a place that hasn't had tennis for a long time. So that was kind of an easy one. And then same with Catrone. I mean, he was a player of mine, was an All-American in singles, had a lot of success on the tour, really high intellect guy, high emotional intellect and tennis intellect guy. And, I know him, I trust him, he understands my system. And he was, he's willing to come and be on staff and help build this as well. I mean, it was, it wasn't that difficult of a choice. We had some great candidates, but not everybody checked all the boxes like these two guys did.
Right, and for you, I mean, you've been known just in your coaching career as a solid recruiter, and you bring in the number 5 class in for your first season. A lot of young guys too. So just when you're trying, like you say, to bring up players in that fit your system, fit the culture you're trying to bring in, how difficult really is just that process?
It's super difficult when you don't have anyone here. Typically when you're recruiting, you have some kind of leverage to like say, oh, this is what's going on here, or this is what we're going to do, or and we didn't have any of that. So it makes it a lot more challenging in a sense that you've got to not only get recruits that want to come here, but they've got to trust and believe in what you're saying with no really backing of it other than a little bit of my pedigree or my history on what I had done at other places. That was really all I had to go off of. And so yeah, it was more challenging than normal. But I think like any recruiting situation, you have to leverage your assets or your advantages and figure out what those are. And I thought we did a good job of that. We didn't have anything here, so we could kind of paint whatever picture we wanted. It was kind of a blank canvas in that stage, at that state. And as long as they, had a trust and belief in that we could actually do that and build that, it's, could be a easier sell, if you will, than when I'm trying to flip South Florida and I'm telling them we're going to be top 10, but they're looking at a ranking and we're 78 or 74 or something. And it's like, well, that's not what the computer on the screen says. We didn't have that. We didn't have a ranking, and we had a good reason for that. We didn't have a team. Right. So there are advantages. There were advantages to it that we were able to leverage and find. But yeah, I mean, I will say it was the most difficult year of recruiting, or 18 months of recruiting, that I've ever experienced, even at the other programs I've been at. And then you bring in these players though, and in that first season you guys make the NCAA championship, so I'm sure that helped in kind of that regard. It helps. I mean, it certainly helps. I mean, don't get me wrong, it was a great accomplishment for the first year. There's tons of coaches that I have a high level of respect for that do a great job that didn't make the tournament last year. And I have to remind myself of that because I'm a pretty impatient person and I have really high expectations, and so I tend to I tend to forget that what we did last year was actually really special, considering we had nothing the year before. But I will say, when you are recruiting the best players in the country that want to win national championships, and now you have a 35 next to your name or something, it's not great. I mean, it's not. When they're talking to the teams that are 2 in the nation, 5 in the nation, 8 in the nation, they want to win a national championship during their time in college. It's you're not in the mix. You're outside now. You're on the outside now, and you've got to explain why and how you're going to get there and why you should still come here. And so, there's challenges. Look, again, there's pluses and minuses to every situation. There's minuses of not having anyone here, and then there's minuses of having a 35 next to your name instead of a 3. So you've got to pivot and talk about what's going on here and what we're trying to do and how we believe that we can do that. And so, it's just different challenges and different positives as well. Now there's guys on the team, and there's guys on the team that are good players, and they have brand names, and they've done stuff in the past that people have a high level of respect for. So, yeah, I mean, again, but all in all, it was a good first year. I mean, we were happy with it at the end of the year with what we accomplished, and we're excited to keep building.
Do you think it would be fair to say that this team might be playing its best tennis right now and getting healthy right now?
100%, without a doubt.
How much confidence does that give you as you guys are heading into the part of the season that's the most important?
Yeah, I mean, we talk about it all year. We want to be playing our best tennis in May. We're playing our best tennis right now that we've played all year, and we know that there's more. We know there's way more, so yeah, it gives us a ton of confidence. It gives us a lot of excitement. They're excited to come out and train. They're excited about this weekend, and so yeah, it's a good time for us right now. And last year, I mean, like I said before, your team very young, a lot of freshmen, and then one senior, you have Gertz who ends up leaving, but you bring in 3 transfers this year. Just how big has their impact been on what you've wanted to do this year? Huge. I mean, huge. They're playing 1, 2, 3. They're playing in the doubles lineup. 2 of them are playing 1 doubles, and they're top 10 in the country. I mean, you can't speak to their impact. There's no words to it. I mean, there's no way we would be doing what we're doing right now if we didn't have those guys, particularly with some of the guys that were performing for us last year had been banged up over the summer and aren't really at their top form. So these other guys had to step up and take their spots, And so it's impressive to see what they've done, and I mean, they're huge impact.
And in terms of just Nathan kind of specifically, I know at the beginning of the season you had Dominik on court one. Now towards this kind of latter portion, you've had Nathan. He's been doing well. So what have you just liked out of Nathan on your court one and in the doubles lineup as well?
Yeah, I mean, he's a tough kid. He can handle a lot of what comes at him in the match. He's really well-rounded. He serves well, he returns well, he's good on the ground. He can hurt you on the ground. He's learning to come forward. He can counter you if you come forward. I mean, he's a very well-rounded player, and he's got a huge upside. He's been there before. I mean, the guy played in the semifinals of the NCAA championships as a freshman at Georgia, playing number 1. So he's not like surprised by the moment or the level is hard for him. He's always been one of the best players in the United States. So we like where his game's moving. He's moving in a really good direction. He's listening. He's working on the things that he's seeing in the matches, that we're seeing in the matches. He's cleaning those things up on a weekly basis, and he's just keeps getting better and better. And we don't expect, with the way he's training, it's going to keep going that way, So yeah, it's impressive to see where his level's at right now and where it can go.
Right, and him and Dominik obviously in the top 10 in doubles. I mean, it's the highest ranked ASU doubles pairing since 1991. So just how big of when you have a doubles tandem in the top 10 nationally, I mean, how much confidence does that give you guys heading into matches in terms of just getting the doubles point and then just overall as a group?
Yeah, I mean, it gives us a bunch of confidence. Obviously, it's one set. It's a short set. It's a volatile, point, and it's as volatile as it's been impressive to see how well these guys how many doubles points they've taken this year. So yeah, it gives us a ton of confidence. I mean, we always have a high level of trust that they can get their match, and that takes pressure off the other two courts, which allows them to play more free. And so, I mean, it's anytime you can have a team in the top 10, singles or doubles is an incredible honor. Like, there's so many good players, and but they're playing really well. They counter each other's strengths well, they counter each other's weaknesses well, and we're excited on where they're at.
And then just last thing for you, if I were to ask you just who is Nathan Ponwith, how would you answer that question?
Yeah, I mean, he's a kid who just has an incredible resilience and ability to kind of like get through just really difficult things. The guy's been through a lot in the last year or so, and it's just impressive to see how he's handled it as a person, how he continues to, be the best version of himself on a daily basis, and block out a lot of the noise and stuff around him and just put his head down and go to work and do the things like, when no one's watching, that are the right things to do that can better himself in his situation. I have huge respect for that kid. I think he's a really remarkable young man, and it's been fun to be a part of his process and his journey the last 12 months.
All right, guys, don't go away, because the Sports Watchdog Radio Show on NBC Sports Radio AM 1060 Phoenix will be right back after this quick break.
If you're losing your hair or notice that it's getting thinner, listen closely. You can do something about it without messy lotions or drugs. Now you can get clinically proven hair growth results at home with the Hair Max Laser. Hair Max delivers nourishing laser light energy to stimulate hair growth right at the roots. It's FDA cleared, recommended by doctors, and best of all, it has an amazing 93% success rate in clinical studies in both men and women, so you can be sure it works. Use it just 3 times a week and experience new hair growth, increased density, and healthier, fuller, more attractive hair in just weeks with a 5-month money-back guarantee. Now, for a limited time, save 15% on your Hair Max order at hairmax.com. Type in code RADIO at checkout or call 1-800-9REGROW. That's hairmax.com, code RADIO, or 1-800-9REGROW. Experience real hair growth and save 15% with Hair Max.
All right, guys, welcome back to the Sports Watchdog Radio Show here on NBC Sports Radio, AM 1060 Phoenix. It's really cool. We have the first player, kind of half of this doubles tandem, who I mentioned. We're going to have Nathan Ponwith on here in a minute. Once again, I traveled to the Whiteman Tennis Center to get kind of his perspective on just the ranking as a whole, his individual play this season, and what has clicked so far after transferring from Georgia this season. So, just when you come out of high school, you're the number one ranked high school tennis player according to Tennis Recruiting Network. You picked Georgia. Just why was that at the time the perfect choice for you?
Yeah, I visited a few schools, and Georgia was a good fit for me with the coaches and players, and ultimately it had everything that I was looking for.
And you had a lot of success in your freshman year, 5 Freshman of the Week honors, an SEC record, and just a lot of success as their court won. So that transition from high school tennis to college, I mean, you adapted really well. So what kind of spearheaded that?
Yeah, I was very motivated going into my freshman year, wanting success, and I knew the level at college was high, and I was ready for the task, and I worked really hard, and I played really well my freshman year.
So then what then leads you to you transfer from Georgia, obviously, come to Arizona State. What leads you to that decision?
That decision, it was just best for the time being to come home and transfer to Arizona State and be with my family. And I knew Matt was a really good coach and has a great program here.
And just I mean, from the beginning of this season to now, just how has the development and the kind of transition been to this program overall?
It's been really good. I think, honestly, I've been getting more comfortable each week and playing better tennis each week. And I've had some tough losses in the beginning of the year that I've learned from, and I'm only getting better.
And obviously, you and Dominik ranked in the top 10. I mean, you're the highest ranked ASU doubles pairing since 1991. So how does that just feel for you personally, being like setting an ASU record here?
Yeah, that feels great. I mean, me and Dominik have been doing well all year, and we've been continuing to get big wins for the team. And yeah, having a high ranking, highest ranked pair since 1991, that's awesome that we can just set records for the program and help the team out this year as much as we can.
And as just you look toward the rest of the season, obviously some tough opponents in LA, Utah this weekend on Senior Day. So what do you just try and attack or maybe change things up or just keep consistent as the year goes on?
I think these matches coming up will bank on our experience against the top teams earlier this year, and I think it's all going to come together, and we're gonna stay hot throughout the rest of the year.
And obviously, I mean, you're the only American on the team from Scottsdale originally. You come home playing for Arizona State. How is just that? I mean, I know you guys haven't played at home very much this year, but maybe looking toward next year and just this season overall, being able to have that opportunity to play in front of friends and family, just how has that experience been overall?
Yeah, it's incredible. I mean, I grew up hitting at these courts, practicing here.
Really?
Yeah, I grew up like playing here, and it's definitely it feels great that it's come full circle. I'm here competing for Arizona State and playing for my city, and having my friends and family come out, it's really something special.
And when I guess when you're making that decision to leave Georgia, come home to Arizona, what I guess just made you choose Arizona State maybe over U of A or another school here?
Yeah, I mean, I've been an Arizona State fan my entire life. I live 20 minutes down the road, and coming here, and I know Coach Hill had a tremendous program, and he had great players already here, and it didn't even cross my mind to go anywhere else, really.
Can I ask you my 2 questions again, just because was the audio fine when he was answering? It looked
Not
a little hot.
The first one, it was very low, so I made it higher. But
Okay, I'm just gonna.
You
can you say the exact same stuff?
Yeah, just
I'll ask you the questions again.
Yeah.
Matt says you guys are playing the best tennis this season. You agree?
Yeah, we're definitely going Bushway right now for sure. We've had a lot of wins in a row, and it builds confidence. And we played at home, and it's built our confidence, and we have tough matches going forward, and I think we're gonna be ready for them.
Why do you think that you guys are playing this well or playing your best tennis right now?
We've had some tough losses against the top teams, some early in the season, and we're going to use that experience to learn from it and get better from it.
How nice was it being home for this 4-match win streak?
It was great. It was really comfortable being here, having your home crowd and having the support, and getting 4 wins in a row, no matter where it is, it feels good.
That's great. Thank you.
All right, guys, but don't go away because we have the second half of the ranked tandem in Dominik Kellovsky coming up right after the break.
Hey travel lovers, if you want to up your luggage game, check out EagleCreek.com, an innovative and durable line that's sustainably made with PVC-free materials. One stellar option is the Orf Trunk 36, a big bag crafted for big adventure. It's hard to find upright luggage that puts as much into durable, useful features as this one does. Built with all explorers in mind, the Orf Trunk 36 is lightweight, dependable, and efficient. With wet and dry compartments, multi-point handles, a cargo net for internal compression or outside gear attachment, puncture-resistant lockable zippers, central lock point security, oversized treaded wheels, padded laptop sleeves, and more, this luggage seemingly has it all. It even has a key fob quarter key bottle opener. Plus, there's free shipping on all orders and a no-matter-what lifetime warranty. Shop now at EagleCreek.com. That's EagleCreek.com.
All right, guys, like I said, Dominik Kellovsky now joining the show, and he's the second half of the number 8 ranked college tennis doubles tandem in the nation. And I traveled to Arizona State's facility, got a lot of perspective from the guys, and here's my chat with Dominik Kellovsky. So, Dominik, just 5-match winning streak for you guys to this point. How are you guys feeling just heading into the kind of final last stretch here at home?
Well, yeah, that's always nice. Always nice to win back home. So the feeling it's great. Obviously, the finally like win a couple of matches in a row. It's really great. We are happy and we're trying to keep working and try to win as many matches, and we'll see how it's gonna go.
Right, and I know I talked to you about this on Sunday, but you and Nathan, just as a doubles pairing, rankings come out again today. You move up one more spot. You're number 8 in the country now. So holding that record, like we said before, you guys are the highest ranked ASU doubles pair since 1991. So how is just that feeling for you?
It's great. I can't say too much. I'm thankful for the ranking which we got right now. Obviously, as you said, is the highest ranking since 1991, which obviously means something here. It's always nice to walk through the school, the campus, and like people which they know something about tennis, like coming to you and saying like they're happy. You can see that they're great. They're happy for what we are doing here, and that's always feel great that you can give something back to the school. And it feels great. I can't say too much.
And just how has it been overall this season, working with Nathan, getting to know his style of tennis, complementing yours, just overall you as a pairing?
Well, as I said on Sunday, I think we are fitting pretty, like our game styles are fitting pretty great together in doubles. So obviously, we didn't play so many matches together. I think that after like, let's say 1 year or 2 years, it's gonna be completely different. But it's still like 15-20 matches which we play together, which is, it's quite a lot. But at the same time, it can be much better, obviously. So there's still a space to improve, and so far we are doing great. I think we have a great relationship on the court, out of the court. Like the chemistry is pretty great. So yeah, we're gonna try to do our best.
And you personally brought a lot of doubles experience from your time on the pro circuit. I think it was like a 110 and 80 overall record. So when you come to Arizona State, bringing that experience, how do you just try and that transitionary process to college tennis?
That's a great question. Actually, the experience which I had from the pro circuit was like a little bit different, because the college rules are the doubles, it's playing only for one set, which is always a little bit different. You need to try to catch the beginning of the match, which is not always easy, and so it was kind of different for me from the beginning. I need to try to get on the different page with the rules and with the no-wets and all this new stuff, which actually no-wets are like we were playing no-wets on the futures or challenges which I was playing, but still the one set it's a little bit different. So I was just trying to play my game, enjoy the game, try to do my best, and so far it was working, so we'll see.
Right, and then just last thing for you and Nathan, when you're playing against Washington on Sunday, you guys get to a tiebreak in the doubles. You're losing 6-3. You fight back. So how do you just guys stay so resilient? And I mean, when you go down, it might seem like, oh, one more point and we lose this, but you come back and win. So just that resilience factor. How do you guys just stay just so in tune throughout the match?
I think we were a little bit lucky that match, to be honest. I mean, you need to be lucky to win the tiebreaks, obviously, especially when you are 3-6 down in a tiebreak. I think that we choose the right shots. Especially Nate was playing really great at the tiebreak. He made like a lot of great points. So yeah, we just went for it. We weren't like scared of the situation. We just tried to do our best at that moment, and we just got it.
All right, guys, don't go away because we have the happenings on the Hardwood segment coming up right after the break.
For singers looking for a fun, all-in-one wireless karaoke mic with a built-in mixer speaker and its own light show, Voco Pro's pop-up Oki microphone is for you. It connects to a smartphone or tablet via Bluetooth and accesses YouTube and numerous karaoke apps for hours of entertainment. An onboard MP3 player allows singers to perform recorded MP3 tracks. Its multicolored LED light with on-off switch will automatically dance to the beat of the music, adding visual excitement to any karaoke session. Find it at vocopro.com.
You ready to hoop it up?
This is Happenings on the Hardwood.
All right, guys, welcome back to the Sports Watchdog Radio Show here on NBC Sports Radio, AM 1060 Phoenix. It's your favorite segment, or at least it's mine. As you know, it's Happenings on the Hardwood, and a lot going down in hoops this week. I think that, that goes without saying as the playoffs are upon us, but backtracking a little bit just in terms of in Hollywood, Lakerland. Lakers obviously not making the playoffs, but a lot of news coming out of LA this week as Magic Johnson steps down in kind of an impromptu press conference, doesn't even notify Jeannie Buss beforehand, and just comes out and said, I'm not having fun anymore, I want to be me, and ends up resigning. Rob Pelinka still in charge. Luke Walton, head coach, no longer in Los Angeles for the Lakers, and there have been some names that have come forward. Tyronn Lue, kind of at the front runner of that position, maybe. So people cracking jokes that it's turning into the Los Angeles Cavaliers and kind of that whole saga from LeBron James' stint in Cleveland toward the end. But it was just kind of an interesting week in Lakerland overall, just in terms of the direction of their basketball program and all the moves that need to be made in order to get that team back into the success. But as the playoffs are upon us, and I tweeted this on Twitter the other day, I wanted to give my kind of all NBA team predictions and who I would select ahead of the playoffs before they start. So I'll give my kind of brief breakdown here. If you look at the first team, I think it goes without saying James Harden on that list. Same with Giannis Antetokounmpo, two of the MVP frontrunners this season. Rounding out that list, though, Russell Westbrook, averaging a triple-double for the third straight season. He won an MVP for it, so I think he deserves that first team kind of accolade. And then I really struggled between Kevin Durant and Paul George, but I leaned toward Kevin Durant, second best player in basketball. Just the stuff he does on the court, and this season has been instrumental in the Warriors' success. And Denver really pushed for that number one seed, so I don't think the Warriors get it if they don't have Kevin Durant in this situation. And then Nikola Jokic out of Denver, just what he's been able to provide to that organization as they've made a resurgence back into the playoffs as a 2 seed. Truly incredible for sure. Looking at the second team, I have Kyrie Irving followed by Steph Curry in the backcourt, and then Paul George fills that forward spot, followed by LeBron James, who I also struggled with between James and Kawhi Leonard, but James has the 8th best true plus-minus rating in the league. Kawhi's down at like 37th. So if you look at the advanced metrics, advanced statistics, I think LeBron gets the nod there despite missing 18-plus games, really the most in his career. And then at the center position, I have Joel Embiid. And now, that was also tough for me between Jokic and Embiid. I just think Jokic and what he was able to provide for the Nuggets outweighed what Joel did for the 76ers in the Eastern Conference. And then you look at the third team, I have Damian Lillard followed by Kemba Walker, both incredible seasons for both of them. Followed by Kawhi Leonard at the forward spot, Blake Griffin for Detroit. His impact, he really had an under-the-radar career year for the Pistons, leading them, to an 8th seed in the playoffs. Going to be interesting to see how that series with Milwaukee pans out. And then Rudy Gobert out of Utah for rounding out the teams. Now, I think these were some tough omits that I didn't include, but deserve some recognition. Klay Thompson, defense, 3-point. Everything. He's so consistent year in and year out. Bradley Beal played well for Washington this season. He deserves some recognition there. Karl-Anthony Towns, I struggled between him and Gobert on that third team, but I gave the nod to Gobert. And then Chris Middleton having an all-star kind of resurgence year out of Milwaukee, leading them to the number 1 seed in the East. Definitely an impressive performance from Chris Middleton as well. So those were my all-NBA picks. But let me know if you have any differentiating ones from me on Twitter. You can tweet me at Sports Watchdog. But yeah, it's definitely really been a fun season, and the playoffs are going to be really exciting as well. Well, that's a wrap, everyone. Anybody wanting to connect with me, the Sports Watchdog, on Twitter can do so at @SportsWatchdog, and on Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube as well at The Sports Watchdog. So until next time, keep your eye on the ball.